We're here. We're doing it for
Finally, we are here.
the CAPB Podcast, the podcast we've been speaking about for months and months and months. This is exciting, man.
I think nearly 2 years. It's got
Yeah,
to be.
I was saying 10 months, but it's closer to 2 years. So what is the CAPB Podcast all about? So essentially, Paul and I are both military veterans. We're brothers, and between us we've served over 30 years and deployed numerous operations, Balkans, Iraq, Afghanistan, other areas in the Middle East, countless exercises. So we've done our bit in military service, and now we're both out. We're now both civilians, just doing our bit in society. We wanted to pull together a podcast because the veteran community is, it's immense, right? And we both know, because of what our challenge is, that leaving the military and transitioning to city streets, it's hard. It's hard for anybody, regardless of how long you've served. It's hard. But it blows my mind that people who leave the military and then go on to create businesses, because that's huge.
It's massive. You made a really good point there about the transition in it is always a massive step for anyone leaving the military. The advances, I would say, in the transition support that's out there from when I left in 2013 to when you left more recently, it's almost like night and day. But like you say, that the leave itself, just to step out of a life, it's not a job, the military, it's a life, to step out of that life into something that you have no idea of how it works. We did it to a certain age. You and me, it was just past our 16, thereabouts. And then from then, our adult life was military. And then we get out and it's like, right, what do we do now? And it's, but not only that, you have these fantastic veterans and individuals that are doing that leap, but they're also going, do you know what I'm going to do? Leaving this life isn't quite big enough. I want to start my own business as well. And for me, I'm just like, I just want, when I left, for me, it was, I need a job. I need how am I going to, I've got the utmost respect for the veterans that are getting out, and the military personnel that are getting out and going, I'm going to cut my own path. I'm going to do my own thing. And then this is what this podcast for me is all about, is highlighting these achievements that the community is bringing.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like, I want to know why. So, we've got this list of people who we've managed to convince to come onto the podcast in the coming months and weeks. And all of those people who are coming on, which is quite interesting, are people we've served with or people we've worked with after. So we know them. We're not cold calling people. These are people we've served with in Afghanistan or in Iraq. And now they're doing these incredible businesses. And I want to know why. I want to know, where did you get the idea for that? I want to know what lessons they've learned in the time they've created that business. And I want to basically raise the awareness of what they're doing, so that and sharing their stories. The idea of the CAPB Podcast is a micro podcast. I love podcasts. I'm a massive podcast guy. I love listening to podcasts. COVID has really cemented that. And when I was transitioning, leaving the military and joining, starting my first role in Civvy Street, I would spend countless hours on the beach in the morning, walking the dog, listening to podcasts, listening to all sorts of podcasts about motivation and about business and about this and about that. And I just like the idea of being a part of that movement, and having a micro podcast where we can speak to these veterans and get some lessons that we can share and have the opportunity to chat to them. It's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
And some to spin some bits along the way, obviously. And that's
100%. There needs to be Ali stories. There needs to be bits. And we have the ability to edit stuff. So anything that's a bit close to the wire, we can cut out. But joking aside, the CAPB Podcast it's about celebrating the success of military veterans. That's what it's about, and I'm really excited about the episodes we've got coming up. Starting with the first one, who's a good friend of mine, a guy called Wayne Smallman, who set up a company called Millscrum, and he's managed to give up his time to speak to us for our first podcast, and I'm hoping we do him justice.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So we can, because I know what he's doing at Millscrum's incredible, and I can't wait to listen to him and listen to his story as to why, and then we'll see where we go from there, Paula.
100%. It's the start of a journey, right? And then we'll see how far this journey can take us.
So if you're listening to this, it's the CAPB Podcast. Hopefully it'll be available on all platforms once we figure out how to do that. We'll have a YouTube channel once we figure out how to do that. And we may even be on Instagram. I don't know how to do that. But yeah, so we'll look forward to sharing this as far and wide as we can. And if you get the opportunity, please like, share, follow, and do all the other bits you would do with the podcast. Can't wait.
And if you are a military veteran and you don't know us, please reach out to Matt or myself, and you want to be featured on the podcast, where just reach out to ourselves, and we'll happily invite you on, and we can have a chat and a chin wag and just promote you and your successes in everything that you're doing within your business.
Love that, Paul. Thanks, everybody. See you soon.
Yes.